Hello everyone, Dr. Mandell here. If you're a woman over 60 and you've noticed your muscles getting weaker, your body feeling softer, or even your balance starting to slip, that's not just aging. That's sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass that happens when we don't feed our muscles right. But here's the good news. There's one simple 30-second morning habit that can literally help reverse it. It's easy, natural, and backed by science. They say aging is inevitable, but weakness is not. For millions of women over 60, the quiet enemy isn't time. It's something happening inside their muscles every single morning. It's called sarcopenia, a slow, silent breakdown of muscle fibers that starts to steal strength, stability, and confidence one day at a time. But what if science discovered a way to turn that process off? What if, in the first 30 seconds after you wake up, you could flip a biological switch that stops muscle loss in its tracks and even reverses it? It sounds too simple to be true, but it's real. And it begins with one powerful nutrient, protein, and its secret key, leucine. When you wake up in the morning, your body has been fasting for 8 to 10 hours. Your blood sugar is low, your insulin is quiet, and your muscles are in what scientists call a catabolic state. That means your body is using its own muscle tissue for energy. You may feel fine, but underneath the surface, your muscles are shrinking. By the time you pour your first cup of coffee, thousands of muscle fibers have already begun to degrade. Now here's the shocking part. A study from the National Institutes of Health found that women over 60 lose up to 1% of their muscle mass every single year. And that rate doubles if they skip morning protein. That means by age 70, you could lose nearly a third of your muscle strength, even if your weight looks the same. That's why some women feel thinner but weaker. They haven't lost fat, they've lost muscle. But researchers at the University of Texas found something extraordinary. When older adults consumed a small dose of high-quality protein first thing in the morning, containing at least 2.5 grams of leucine, the signal for muscle building, called TOR, switched on instantly. mTOR is your body's master growth regulator. It's like a light switch that tells your cells to repair, rebuild, and strengthen your muscles. Without leucine, that switch stays off no matter how much protein you eat later in the day. That's why the timing matters more than the total. Morning is when your body is most responsive. Insulin sensitivity is higher, amino acid uptake is faster, and muscle cells are primed to absorb nutrients. Miss that window, and your body continues breaking down tissue instead of building it. Now imagine this: you wake up, drink a glass of water, and then before breakfast, before coffee, you mix a scoop of protein powder with leucine. You sip it slowly, and within minutes, your body receives a signal it's been craving. Your muscles stop breaking down. Your metabolism ignites. You feel energy spreading through your limbs, not from caffeine, but from cellular repair. It's not a supplement trick. It's biology. In 2021, scientists from McMaster University studied older women who began their mornings with a leucine-rich protein shake. After just 12 weeks, they showed a 25% increase in muscle synthesis, a 10% improvement in balance, and fewer falls and injuries compared to those who delayed their protein until lunch. But there's more. They also reported better mood, less fatigue, and sharper mental clarity. Because muscle doesn't just move your body, it feeds your brain. Muscle tissue acts like a metabolic organ. It stores glucose, balances blood sugar, and produces anti-inflammatory molecules that protect your heart and brain. Lose muscle, and you lose metabolic power. You become more vulnerable to insulin resistance, fatigue, joint pain, and even depression. That's why scientists now call skeletal muscle the organ of longevity, and the trigger to protect it is leucine. Leucine is one of the 3-branch chain amino acids, but it's the only one that directly activates mTOR. It tells your body, we have enough resources. It's time to build. Without leucine, your body stays in a conservation mode, breaking down more tissue than it repairs. That's why breakfast cereals, toast, or fruit alone won't save your muscles. They contain almost no leucine. Now you might ask, what's the best way to get it? Whey protein isolate, soy protein, or pea protein blends fortified with leucine all work well. But the secret isn't just the food, it's the timing. That first 30-second habit after waking changes everything. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need an expensive diet. You just need to feed your body when it's most ready to grow. Think of your body as a construction site. Overnight, the builders stop working. In the morning, they wait for your signal to start rebuilding. Leucine is that signal. Without it, the construction never begins, and your foundation gets weaker each day. Here's another fact few people know. Studies show that older adults need up to 70% more leucine than younger people to stimulate the same level of muscle repair. That's why many women over 60 who ate enough protein still lose muscle. because their bodies aren't responding without a strong enough signal. But the good news, you can fix that in seconds. A single serving of 25 grams of protein with 3 grams of leucine is enough to trigger full muscle protein synthesis in most older adults. And the effect lasts for hours, stabilizing blood sugar, supporting your bones, and keeping your metabolism elevated. It's not just a shake, it's a message to your cells that says, I'm still alive, I'm still strong, and I'm still building. Some researchers even believe this morning protein habit may slow aging itself, because when your muscle tissue stays active, it communicates with your organs, releasing myokines, powerful molecules that protect the heart, liver, and brain. It's like your muscles send healing messages throughout your body every single morning you feed them right. Now imagine starting every day like that, before emails, before stress, before the world pulls you away from your health. Just 30 seconds. That's all it takes to awaken your body's most powerful repair mechanism. This isn't about vanity. It's about vitality. It's about bending down to tie your shoes without pain, walking upstairs without holding the railing, carrying your groceries with confidence, feeling alive in a body that listens to you, not one that's fading away, because muscle doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears quietly through skipped meals, late mornings, and years of undernourishment. But the same process that causes it can be reversed by feeding your body exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. Protein, leucine, morning. That's the formula. That's the 30-second secret that can change the trajectory of your next decade. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't rush to your coffee maker. Reach for your muscle medicine. Feed your strength before your day begins. Because aging is not losing youth, it's losing muscle. And every sip of leucine-rich protein you take in the morning is one more day you win against time. This isn't magic. This is science, and your body, your incredible, intelligent body, is ready to listen. So give it what it's been waiting for. Feed your power. Start today. They say how you start your morning determines how you live your life. But what if I told you that the first 30 seconds after waking determine how fast you age? It sounds dramatic, but for millions of women over 60, those few moments set off a biological chain reaction, one that either builds your strength or steals it silently. Because right after you open your eyes, your body is standing at a crossroads. And depending on what you do next, you're either signaling your body to grow or to decay. When you sleep, your body doesn't rest as deeply as you think. It's fasting, repairing, recycling. For 8 or more hours, your body burns stored fuel to keep your heart beating, your brain dreaming, and your organs working. But while that's happening, your muscles, your foundation of strength, are being broken down for amino acids to fuel that internal repair. By the time the morning light touches your skin, your body is running on empty. Your muscles are dehydrated, your glycogen is low, and your bloodstream is starving for protein. That's why those first 30 seconds are everything. Scientists call this window the anabolic trigger point. It's the moment when your body is most sensitive to what you feed it. In those seconds, your cells are like dry sponges waiting to soak up nutrients. And if you give your body the right signal, protein, hydration, movement, you turn on your anabolic engine, the biological force that builds muscle, burns fat, and repairs tissue. But if you don't, your body stays in catabolic mode, a destructive state that keeps eating away at your muscles to survive. This isn't theory, it's biology. A 2022 study in the Journal of Cachexia and Sarcopenia revealed that older adults who delayed their first protein intake until later in the day had significantly higher levels of muscle breakdown markers compared to those who consumed protein within the first hour of waking. But when participants consumed even a small amount of protein early in the morning, just 20 grams, they activated MNTOR, the molecular switch that triggers muscle protein synthesis by over 200%. In simple terms, early nourishment flips your body into building mode. Now here's something even more shocking. Research from the University of Birmingham showed that the body's responsiveness to nutrients, its anabolic sensitivity, declines with age. But this decline can be completely restored by one thing: timing. Older adults who consumed essential amino acids within 30 minutes of waking had the same muscle protein synthesis response as much younger individuals. The scientists called it nutrient timing therapy because the difference wasn't the food, but when it was eaten. Every morning, your body gives you one perfect shot to take control of your aging process. The moment you wake, your stress hormone, cortisol, surges. It's your body's way of waking you up, increasing alertness, blood pressure, and heart rate. But cortisol is catabolic. It breaks tissue down. If you ignore your body during this time, cortisol continues its destructive work, breaking muscle into glucose to keep your energy up. That's why skipping breakfast or delaying your first meal might seem harmless. but it's quietly draining your strength day by day. In contrast, when you consume protein and water within those first moments, something incredible happens. Insulin rises gently, cortisol drops, and your cells receive a flood of amino acids, the raw material for growth. Your muscles stop breaking down, your metabolism ignites, and your brain wakes up with clarity. It's like turning chaos into balance, a signal to your entire system that says, you're safe, you can build now. Let's look deeper. The human body runs on circadian rhythms, internal clocks that dictate when every cell eats, sleeps, repairs, and grows. Your muscle cells follow this rhythm too. They're most active in the morning when mTOR, that master muscle building switch, is most responsive. Miss that window and mTOR activity drops sharply for the rest of the day. That means even if you eat well later, your muscle building potential is already cut in half. 30 seconds in the morning. That's all it takes to send the signal that defines how your body spends the next 24 hours repairing or decaying. Imagine this in slow motion. A woman wakes up, stretches her arms, walks straight to the kitchen. She fills a glass of water, hydrates her body, then mixes in a scoop of leucine, rich protein. She drinks it slowly, letting her body know, we're rebuilding today. Inside her, enzymes begin to awaken, muscle fibers begin repairing, mitochondria start producing fresh energy. Her body stops consuming itself. That's what science calls nutrient signaling, and it's one of the most powerful anti-aging mechanisms known. Now imagine another morning. The same woman wakes up, but instead of hydrating or feeding her muscles, she grabs her phone, scrolls for 20 minutes, drinks coffee, and skips breakfast. Her body, still fasting, senses starvation. Cortisol stays high. Her liver starts converting muscle tissue into glucose to keep her brain functioning. The loss is microscopic, invisible, painless, but it happens every day. Weeks pass, her legs feel weaker, her balance slips, she blames age. But what she doesn't see is that it all started in those first 30 seconds of every morning. The first 30 seconds after waking are not just a habit, they're a message. Your body listens carefully to what you do, and it responds accordingly. Feed it protein, and it becomes anabolic, rebuilding muscle and energy. Ignore it, and it stays catabolic, consuming what you work so hard to preserve. This is why scientists now call morning protein the anti-sarcopenia trigger. Every great transformation starts with a single decision. And the decision that matters most isn't how hard you train or how much you eat. It's when you start. Because your body isn't counting your age. It's counting your signals. It's waiting for you to tell it what to do next. Build or break. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm rings, remember, the clock has already started ticking. You have 30 seconds to take control of your biology. 30 seconds to flip the switch from muscle loss to muscle growth. 30 seconds that could add strength to your years, energy to your mornings, and life to your body. Hydrate first. Feed your muscles second. A simple protein drink with leucine within those first moments of waking can change everything. Your strength, your metabolism, your aging. Science has proven it. The results are real, and the time is now, because aging doesn't happen in years, it happens in moments. And the most powerful one is the first 30 seconds after you wake up. They say youth fades, but strength can last forever. For women over 60, that truth has never been more powerful or more misunderstood, because what most people think of as aging, the weakness, the stiffness, the slowing down, isn't just time taking its toll. It's muscle leaving the body, it's strength quietly slipping away. It's sarcopenia, the invisible epidemic that begins long before the wrinkles show, and it's stealing independence from millions of women every year. But what science now knows is staggering. Muscle isn't just about movement, it's about life itself. Every heartbeat, every thought, every breath depends on the power of your muscles. They are not just tissue. They are your body's largest endocrine organ, sending healing molecules throughout your bloodstream, protecting your heart, brain, and bones from decline. Lose muscle, and you don't just lose strength, you lose youth, resilience, and energy at the cellular level. In one study from the University of California, researchers found that people with higher muscle mass had a 50% lower risk of death from all causes, regardless of weight or fat percentage. Let that sink in. It's not your size that predicts longevity, it's your muscle. Muscles are your armor. They shield your bones, stabilize your joints, and keep your metabolism burning strong even while you rest. Yet, after 60, if you do nothing to stop it, you can lose up to 8% of your muscle every decade. That's not weakness, it's a biological emergency. When your muscles fade, your balance falters, your bones lose density, your blood sugar spikes, and your immune system slows. Falls become fractures, fatigue becomes the norm, and confidence begins to vanish. But none of this is irreversible, because muscle can be rebuilt at any age if you send your body the right signal. In 2019, scientists at McMaster University proved something once thought impossible. They found that women in their 70s, even their 80s, could build new muscle fibers just as effectively as younger adults when they consumed enough high-quality protein and performed light resistance training. The catch: the stimulus had to be consistent. The message to the body had to be loud and clear: grow, repair, strengthen. Your body listens. It always listens. Even after 60, the machinery of growth is still there, waiting for your command. But here's what makes this story truly shocking. Losing muscle doesn't just affect your body, it rewires your brain. Muscles produce molecules called myokines, small messengers that travel through your bloodstream and communicate with your brain, reducing inflammation, improving mood, and even stimulating the growth of new neurons. The less muscle you have, the fewer of these protective chemicals your brain receives. That's why strength training and muscle preservation have been shown to reduce depression, anxiety, and even lower the risk of Alzheimer's disease by up to 40%. The connection between muscle and mind is direct and profound. In Japan, researchers followed over 4,000 older adults for more than a decade. They discovered that those with higher muscle density not only lived longer, but also maintained better memory and emotional stability. The explanation: stronger muscles meant stronger mitochondrial function, the energy factories inside every cell. These mitochondria don't just live in your muscles, they power your brain, your heart, and your immune cells. When your muscles thrive, your entire body hums with vitality. When they wither, every system begins to slow. Now let's talk about metabolism. After 60, metabolism doesn't just slow down by accident. It slows down because muscle mass disappears. Muscle tissue is metabolically active. It burns calories even when you're asleep. Lose 10 pounds of muscle, and you burn roughly 500 fewer calories per day. That's the difference between maintaining your weight effortlessly and gaining a pound every week. This is why older adults who don't prioritize muscle find themselves gaining fat even on small portions of food. It's not overeating, it's under-muscling. But here's the hope. Within just 6 weeks of rebuilding muscle through morning protein, light exercise, and hydration, studies show metabolism can increase by up to 15%. That's like turning back your biological clock by 10 years. And it's not just about burning calories, it's about what that muscle does for your hormones. Muscle regulates insulin, controls inflammation, and improves estrogen balance. That's right, your muscles are the most powerful hormone regulator you have after menopause. Strong muscles mean steadier moods, deeper sleep, and sharper focus. And if you think you're too old to start, think again. In one groundbreaking clinical trial from the University of Florida, 90-year-old women began a simple muscle activation routine combined with morning protein intake. In just 12 weeks, they doubled their leg strength, regained balance, and reduced their risk of falls by 70%. These women didn't just feel stronger, they stood taller, breathed easier, and smiled more. Because when the body grows, the spirit follows. So why is this so important? Because aging gracefully isn't about preventing wrinkles or counting birthdays. It's about keeping the muscle that carries you through life. When you can lift yourself from a chair, walk upstairs without gasping, or dance with your grandchildren without pain, that's true youth. Every ounce of muscle you build buys you freedom. Freedom from dependence, freedom from fragility, freedom from the fear of falling or fading, and the science keeps coming. Researchers at Harvard now call skeletal muscle the new vital sign. They believe measuring muscle strength predicts life expectancy better than blood pressure, cholesterol, or even genetics. That's how essential it is. Muscle isn't optional, it's survival, yet most people still treat muscle loss as normal aging. They accept fatigue, joint pain, and slow recovery as part of getting older. But it doesn't have to be. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It's designed to adapt. Feed it protein, move it daily, rest it properly, and it will reward you with power and stability no matter your age. Even after decades of neglect, muscle tissue can regenerate. You just have to remind your body that it's still needed. Think about it this way: your muscles are a bank account of strength. Every day you nourish and move them, you deposit energy, stability, and resilience. Every day you ignore them, you withdraw from that account. The women who age beautifully are not the ones who stay thin, they are the ones who stay strong. And strength isn't just physical, it's emotional. Because when you feel capable in your body, your mind follows, confidence returns, you start saying yes to life again. That's what muscle does. It gives you back your independence, your vitality, your spark. So the next time you look in the mirror and think aging is stealing your youth, remember you are not losing time, you're losing muscle. And that you can rebuild. Start with one morning shake, one walk, one small act of movement. The moment you do, you're telling your body, I'm not done yet. because you're not. Strong muscles mean a strong life. A strong life means more years, more laughter, more freedom. And science has proven that muscle is the foundation of healthy aging. It's not vanity. It's vitality. It's not about looking young. It's about staying alive, alert, and powerful. Every day you move, every time you nourish your body with purpose, you're not fighting age, you're rewriting it. Because muscle doesn't just help you live longer. It helps you live better. And that's the kind of strength no number can take away. Stay strong, stay healthy, and make it a great day. This is Dr. Mandell. Peace and good health.